Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. This was a very, very busy week. So, we had a family wedding that involved one day of rehearsal and a rehearsal brunch. Then the next day, the actual wedding and the supper at the wedding. On top of that, I am back and forth from the closest work site to me doing some training. So it has been incredibly busy for me. There are some sketchy videos. I am just saying. It was hard for me to take the videos. I did take pictures at the brunch. So there's no video, but there are pictures of everything that was there. There are no pictures or videos from the wedding. It was just very busy. It was a close family member and just wasn't thinking about that. And I, the training that I have been at 2 days this week, the training started at 12. So it was 12 to 4. So we had snacks there. So we were I could kind of scrounged like tied me over kind of lunches because the lunch was a little bit early and then we had some snacks later in the afternoon. So it's not the usual type of video. Did get some good deals this week, did spend some points this week, did make some spur of the moment decisions, and you will see all of that in the video. Thanks for tuning in. This week I spent $66.20. I shopped at Superstore, Epicure, Walmart, Sobeys, and Costco. And I did a thing. My Epicure order ended up being $46.24. I decided to rejoin Epicure as a consultant. So I've been a consultant, actually called ambassadors now. I've been an ambassador in the past. I haven't been active for a while, and I just decided that it's in my best interest because we eat a lot of Epicure. Everything is gluten-free. For me to be able to get consultant pricing. So anyways, that's a thing that happened as well. So let's get started. I first got some barbecue sauce at Sobeys. Bullseye was on for $2. And I do feel like perhaps on next week's budget, so before the week is done, I do feel like this is something that I should pop back in and grab a couple more bottles. Maybe I should redeem some of my fast fuel coupons that I've been saving, or maybe just buy it. $2 is a pretty good price for this brand. Now, there was a time in the past where you could get a better buy, but that hasn't been for a while. Anyways, this is my preferred brand of barbecue sauce. We do barbecue a lot, so it wouldn't be out of the norm for me to buy a couple more bottles at the sale price. Just put them in the pantry. And I got Old West Hickory, but there were some other flavors there that caught my eye when I was picking these out. I also shopped at Walmart and I got some creamer. This is classic cinnamon roll, and I will tell you, I have opened it already before the video and did a little taste test. I only got a small bottle because I actually still had a little bit left in my bigger bottle. This was $3.99, and I'm out of the other one now, so this video is a little delayed. I'm out of the other one now, and we'll start using this one like for real, not just the taste test sample today. So $3.99. Costco, someone picked me up a mild pepperoni. This was $10.99. And the handsome one and I were talking. And although we're not ready to open this now, when we open it, we think we are immediately going to freeze half of it. And that will make us feel less under pressure. I mean, it's a fabulous buy for pepperoni. You get a kilogram. A kilogram. Did that change? Is that what it was before? I think it was. I'm going to have to go back through some of my old videos. I've got to try to remember because I know that these big club packs, when you buy them at Costco, they're bigger than the same brand big club packs if you get them at Atlantic Superstore or Sobeys. And those ones are much more expensive anyways, but I always just like to know, what is that, what's it called when they downsize a package price? The package price stays the same, but they downsize the ingredients in it. Shrinkage, shrinkflation. That's the term I was looking for. I always kind of like to keep my eye on if items that I regularly buy are indeed a victim of shrinkflation. So $10.99 for this. You are going to hear about this later in the video, but I specifically purchased some mini butter croissants. I have 2 packages here, and the Swiss cheese slices. This is for a specific upcoming event. And it was spur of the moment. Like okay, it was planned, but it was a spur of the moment plan. I don't know if you get what I mean. I needed to do something. I needed to do it right away. I needed to make a plan right away. And that is what I came up with, which you will see more of what this is for further into the video. The butter croissants were $6 a package. The cheese was on sale for $4.99, and I had a $1 off coupon for Dairy Farmers of Canada, so that brought that down to $3.99. And at the same time, I saw the Chapman's bars were on sale for $4.99, and I thought that would be nice for us to have. We haven't had anything like this in a while. And I didn't think about it until on the way home. Oh, it's also a Dairy Farmers of Canada. Did I use a coupon? No, I did not. However, I did actually redeem points for all of the Superstore items. The total for this stuff was $20.98, and I redeemed $20 worth of PC points. So I ended up only paying 98 cents. And the croissants and the cheese are for a particular meal item. Now, of course, this is the most expensive part of my shop. The CCB, and that stands for cheese, chives, and bacon. Old school, it's what it actually used to be called. Cheese, chives, and bacon. And the 3 onion dip. And they say they're dip mixes, but yes, I do use them in dip mixes, but I use these very, very heavily in regular cooking. Those were $9.99 each. And so 83 grams in the CCB, 84 grams in the 3 onion. But this stuff is very potent, and a little goes a very long way. This is new to me, dilly honey mustard. As you've been following many videos of mine, you'll notice that I don't like a lot of sauces. I'm just incredibly fussy. But things that I do like dill, and I do like honey mustard. And every once in a while, it is really nice to have a dressing to go on some kind of a salad. I am more, I guess, putting a salad, I would be more likely, that's the word I was looking for, likely. I would be more likely to put a dressing on a pasta salad than I would on a garden salad. But this is something that I really wanted to try. And what I like about it is you only have to make as much as what you need. And it's not going to then be an open bottle sitting in your fridge going bad because you have not used the whole thing fast enough. So I'm curious. 2 tablespoons each of dressing mix, apple cider vinegar, and liquid honey with 2/3 of a cup of mayo. That's for the dressing mix. Okay. That sounds pretty easy, and I'm curious about this. And this bottle was $11.50. And then the Handsome and I do love a good dip. We do love a good dip. And this is something that's new. And again, both these items, so this and this, these are items that are going into what Epicure calls the vault. So seasonal, if you don't buy them now, they will go into the vault and you won't be able to get them again until they release them, which who knows when that will be, probably next spring. Those 2 items, those are just standard items, very, very popular items. They're always in the catalog. So I wanted to make sure I was very interested. I've been kind of watching their new releases and stuff, and I was very interested in this pizza dip. These were 2 packages for $10.95. You may be thinking like, oh wow, $5 a dip, which really, if you're entertaining, is not that much. But I find that when we are making dips, or I find that when we are making a lot of the items that come packaged like this, that half of the package is a perfectly sensible amount when I'm serving it. So we typically make half packages for stuff. So I'm actually going to get 4 dips out of that, which makes it seem a little more sensible. Anyways, enough about Epicure and my Epicure journey. On and off, I've been using it for about 15 years and I like it. My eating and how I've been feeling about my eating has not been great lately. So I'm really cooling off on dairy that isn't lactose free. And the reality is I probably should just cool off dairy in general. And I've been trying to move more towards some of the gluten-free products that we have in the house. I mean, I've got tons of both. When things are on sale, and I do have a very extensive pantry, I buy what's on sale. And if gluten-free stuff is on sale, I buy it because I do feel a lot better when I'm eating gluten-free. So yes, total this week, $66.20. We are eating up leftovers for lunch in the idea that we are cleaning some space out of the fridge. We have a big, busy weekend ahead of us. We have a family wedding and family is cooking the food. So I am going to have a ton of space used up in my fridge for barbecued chicken legs. That's what I'm bringing to the wedding. And then we also have the day before the wedding, we have the wedding rehearsal and family brunch. And I am bringing 2 dozen eggs made into deviled eggs, which will end up being 4 dozen deviled eggs. So I'm definitely going to need to have the space for that in the fridge. So all of these little jars and little dribs and drabs of things, they've got to go. So we're not eating the same thing for dinner today. The handsome one is going to have the leftover tuna. He wants a tuna wrap with tomato, lettuce, and cucumbers. I thought I took out I did take out a cucumber. And I am going to have salami, tomato, and cheese, and mustard, honey mustard. And yeah, we're just going to clean some of this stuff up. And then I'm going to reorganize the entire fridge. I've already been trying to put in all of the empty containers, like the big trays that are going to be carrying the chicken. So I've already determined that they actually fit not horizontal, like not side to side, but I can turn the trays lengthwise and they will slide in and the doors of my fridge close. So that is really, really exciting. That means that I'll be able to fit more in. So that's exciting. But then the Tupperware containers that are going to have the deviled eggs, those take up lots of space. So yeah, reorganizing is important. Okay, looking good so far. We've got tuna, lettuce, cucumbers, tomatoes. We've got salami, lettuce, tomatoes, cheese, and pickles. Salt and pepper on both. Honey mustard on this one. This one, of course, already had mayo in the tuna. It was tuna salad left over from maybe lunch 2 days ago. Ready to serve. And I didn't use up all the leftovers. There's still some tuna left. That's back in the fridge. There's still salami. That's back in the fridge. The tomato is gone, though. I used up the one that was already cut. But now I have another thing to go in the fridge that's cut because I cut into a new cucumber. This is really good. Deviled eggs is on the menu tomorrow at the wedding rehearsal brunch that we are going to. So I am just getting the eggs starting to boil now. 2 nights ago, I made a chicken pot pie with chicken left over from a beer can chicken that we had, barbecue beer can chicken. So you may be wondering, like, what is this little thing? This is my beeswax wrap. I made this. I got a do-it-yourself beeswax wrap kit for Christmas one year, and all I needed to do was buy fabric that I liked. So this is the fabric that I like. This is a washable, so like instead of saran wrap or something like that, I have several different sizes of these and I just use them instead of that. Anyways, this is how much we have left of the chicken pot pie. We are going to have it tonight for supper, and we might even have it tomorrow night for supper as well. I haven't decided whether I should just bite the bullet and freeze some proactively, or if we're going to actually be eating it up fast enough. These are some of my other beeswax wraps. This one was actually given to me as a gift, the actual wrap. That one's square with little teeny bees. And then these are ones that I made. You can see they're different sizes. Just some fabric that I bought, little scraps at the fabric store. Really interesting. And makes me happy because I'm preventing things from going into the landfill. Looking so good. This was made with the leftover chicken, but also the last of the green beans and the yellow beans that I got a couple weeks ago for a crazy deal at a farm market. The carrots they weren't the same ones from the farm market. These were just carrots that I had in the fridge, but the potatoes came from the farm market. And I made the gravy with broth pucks that I had previously saved in the fridge. That's the only thing when you make a beer can chicken. There's no broth. There's no drippings to make a gravy or for anything in the future. So whenever I do anything in a big slow cooker, I tend to save all of the drippings because I never know what I'm going to use them for, what I'm going to need them for. We are going to froth. Well, that's pretty frothy. I enjoy making the fancy coffees at home at like a fraction of the price. And you don't need to have cream, this flavored creamer. If you've been following along my videos, like I mostly just used almond milk or lactose-free, like regular milk up till about just a couple months ago. And I got a taste for these flavored creamers, and so I've been buying them, but that doesn't mean that I'm always going to buy them. You'll probably see me cycle back through to the almond milk soon. And actually, I'm feeling that with fall coming on, that Silk actually makes a flavored creamer for coffee that I've used in the past, and so I'll keep my eye open for that. The coffee looks really good. And you gotta love those mornings when the water is just like glass. Have you ever missed something that in hindsight you think, how could I not have realized? How could I not have known? Well, that is what happened with me and the rehearsal brunch. 13 weeks ago is when the organization for the wedding rehearsal brunch started. I was one of the first ones to reply, everybody to bring something, and I said, sure, I'll bring deviled eggs. Why do I choose deviled eggs? Because in my family, they are always a hit, and this is a family wedding, so I thought, okay, let's bring just a family favorite. Okay, I was one of the first ones to reply. And I did have my eye on all of the happenings around the rehearsal brunch, but I really missed or misunderstood one key factor. It's a breakfast style brunch. So when I had the eggs, I started to boil the eggs yesterday. I called the bride, or I actually messaged the bride because I just wanted to make sure that I was making enough. And I said, how many people should we be, like final tally, this is coming right up, how many people? And we had an exchange back and forth, and she said, oh, I'm getting my eggs right now for the scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs. I was a little confused. And then kind of back and forth again. And we discovered that there was a lot of people who were bringing things that weren't in the actual group chat. So I didn't see coming out like all of the different items that other people were commenting on. And these are some of the things that people are bringing. French toast casserole, hash brown casserole, granola cups, the bride is making scrambled eggs and bacon. And I thought, oh no, like my item, which the eggs are boiling now, my item does not really match the rest of the menu. So I thought, what can I do? I need to do something. And then we asked the bride, do you still want me to bring the deviled eggs now that you're making scrambled eggs? And she said, well, yes, I do. But what we've decided is I'm not going to bring the full quantity of the deviled eggs. We are going to bring something else that is more breakfast appropriate. So I was racking my brain thinking, what could I bring that is different? Ooh, see, I snuck that in there. That is different than what everybody else is bringing. And I knew that I had this little ham in the freezer. So I thought if I take this little ham out and thaw it, and I grab some mini croissants and some Swiss cheese, I can quickly make some ham and cheese croissants. So what I'll do is I will cut these in half. I'll slice the cheese and we'll put ham, cheese, and we'll bake these just before we're getting ready to leave. And then that will be more brunch appropriate. That will make me feel a bit better. So I am going to get working on this now. I am going to make one tray. I think I'm going to just take this tray, and I won't process these ones this morning. We have a lot to do. Yes, the brunch is today, so we have a lot to do. We have to get ready and get all of this stuff there. So yes, I'm only going to do the eggs this morning that I'm taking today. All right. I've got them sliced, and each, I haven't sliced all the way through. So these are like, I'm going to tuck in the ham and the cheese so that it's not two separate pieces. I don't want them messy and falling apart when people are trying to eat them. So for this type of an event, this is just easier. Ham is open. Let's get it sliced up. So I've been thinking, like, do I cut it in half? But when you look that I've cut these not quite fully all the way through, really even a half a piece, oops, is going to be too big. So I think I'm going to cut them in thirds to fit them in the mini croissants. I think that'll work fine. This was pretty easy. These are looking really good. I have already got the cheese out, and I've also cut it in thirds to fit properly in the mini croissants. This was a pretty fast process. I'm going to make these just a tiny bit fancier. So in here I have butter, a little bit of garlic, and some parsley. I am going to melt this just for a couple seconds in the microwave. I'm going to use this brush to brush it on top of each one of the mini croissants, and then I'm going to sprinkle with an everything bagel topping, which is like poppy seeds and sesame seeds. And that will hopefully, because it's on top of the butter, which is liquid, that they will make that stick. That will stick when I bake it. Possible I might have made a little bit more than what I need because you're just brushing it on. You'll see this is very fast going. All in all, these were really actually very, very fast to put together. I'm glad I thought of these. And last one. Those look quite good. Now I just need to sprinkle with the everything bagel. Those look great. Here I have all of the items out that I'm going to use to make the filling for the deviled eggs. Mayo, I'm going to put in a little 3 onion, and as you can see, there's not much in there, which is kind of what motivated me to reorder in the first place. Salt, pepper, and paprika. Yes, I put paprika right in the filling, but I will also garnish the deviled eggs with paprika just to make them look a little bit fancier. Starting to look really good. And these are a thing of beauty. Turned out wonderful. Well, we're home. The rehearsal was a huge success. The brunch was a huge success. I'm returning with no deviled eggs, no little croissant sandwiches, but we did return home with some blueberry cake from the handsome one's mother. So a piece for each of us. We had a really varied and delicious lunch today because we were at the wedding rehearsal brunch. So we're having a really simple supper. We are going to have hot dogs and onion rings. That's it. All right, let's get these in the air fryer. Oops. And it says air fry for 5 to 7 minutes, so we'll go with 5 and check it, and then and if it needs to stay in longer, we'll add it in a little bit longer. Hot dogs and onion rings looking good. I have red onion, relish, ketchup, mustard on mine. I am going to try this pizza dip for the first time tonight. I know I need cream cheese and mozzarella and little pieces of pepperoni on top, and I can't remember what else. We will see. Here is a half a package of cream cheese, so I'm only making half the batch. A half a cup of mayo, half of the spice, and we will get this all stirred up together. Now I'll grate some mozzarella cheese on top. And here we are with the grated mozzarella and then topped with pepperoni. We're going to get it in the oven. Let's see what this is like. I hope we like it. We've never had this before. It was a new product. This looks pretty good. The pepperoni didn't crisp up like I thought that it would. I actually had this in for almost 20 minutes. And we are going to try it with the corn chips that I bought weeks and weeks ago. And we still haven't even opened the bag. So, yeah, this is what we're going to try. Trying real hard to clear some stuff out of the fridge. These are the last 4 of the Hawaiian King buns that I got the perfect size for those sliders that we had in the freezer. So we will eat those up for lunch today. 2 little sliders, ketchup, mustard, and onions. I decided to take 2 dozen prepared deviled eggs to the brunch, and I'm preparing these ones, and these ones will stay here, and we'll pick away at them. Looking good. Now we have these to eat at our leisure. Gotta love a good deviled egg. This makes me happy. So we've got red potatoes, a variety of little cherry tomatoes, onions, jalapeno peppers, burrito peppers, and more onions. Very, very exciting, guys. Success. This is success. We are using the leftover dough from last week, and we are going to make a pizza tonight. We'll have pepperoni, tomatoes, peppers, hot peppers, salami, cheese, and anything else I can think of. Here we are with tomatoes from the garden, hot peppers from the garden, onions, orange sweet pepper, salami. I still need to add pepperoni, bacon bits, and cheese. Oh, and mushrooms. We have mushrooms too. Almost forgot about them. In the oven and even topped with some spinach. This looks absolutely amazing. I love pizza. I just love it. We did have some fears that this was going to stick really bad to the pan, but guess what? It didn't. Very, very exciting. Woo! We are going to make blueberry banana muffins again tonight. I've got some stuff I want to use up, and the stuff is called bananas and blueberries. The trick is to make sure that you use the small bowl for the wet ingredients, the large bowl for the dry ingredients, because you're going to merge the wet into the dry. And I'll do a close-up here for anyone that didn't see this the last time. See how dark this banana is? See this? Look. Dun dun! Still mostly good on the inside. Sometimes the outer is an illusion, guys. In here I have the 2 mashed bananas, a half a cup of packed brown sugar, a quarter of a cup of honey, a quarter of a cup of vegetable oil, 1 egg, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I added an extra teaspoon just for fun. And I am adding in 2/3 of a cup of milk. These are the liquid ingredients, and I have got to mix this all up. This is 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. Here are my wet and dry ingredients combined. Now I'm going to add the blueberries, and this time I've decided that I'm going to make 6 of the big muffins and a bunch of little mini muffins. Blueberries are in. So I've got little mini muffins, and so I'll be very, very aware of timing for these, and 6 regular muffins. After 5 minutes at 425, so I set the timer, I turned the oven down to 350, and I'm going to bake the mini muffins for an additional 8 minutes and the regular size muffins for an additional 17. Let's do some testing. Perfect. We'll test a couple. That one was also perfect. Yep. I am happy with these. Perfect. These turned out great too. Taste test. This is so good. I need to head into the closest work site for noon today. I am going to be present at a training course. Actually, I'm in training for pretty much the rest of the week. But today it's a half day that starts at 12. So we are going to have snacks there. I'll take a picture of the snacks later. But I'm just going to eat some deviled eggs and a granola bar and get on the road so that I can be there for 12. Tonight for supper, we are having sausages and pasta as a side. I'm going to add mushrooms and cherry tomatoes from our own plants outside and probably some spinach into the pasta. We've got mushrooms, cherry tomatoes cut up, and spinach. Looking good. Sausages and pasta. The pasta turned out very, very good. Quick little side. Leftover pizza for lunch today. It's really gray outside. I can feel sprinkles now. It is going to pour tonight, so I feel like a barbecue wouldn't be a good idea tonight. Let's make different arrangements. Because it was raining, I thought this was the perfect opportunity to dig around in the freezer and find something that didn't require barbecuing. So it's a win-win for me. We're inside, we're not in the rain, and we are clearing items out of the freezer. You can't really tell from the top of this, but this is cabbage rolls that I had in the freezer. I did actually top it with this cheese and added some spices onto the top. Yeah, just came out. It's very hot, boiling hot. And we are going to have mashed potatoes with this for supper, and I just turned the potatoes on. Okay, the potatoes are done and drained. We have butter and milk in there. Let's get them mashed. Cabbage rolls and mashed potatoes. This looks really good. And I topped the mashed potatoes with some red garlic. Yum. Looking forward to this. I've pulled out these raised without antibiotics pork, loin, center, and rib cutlets. Let's try these for supper tonight. This is the leftover cauliflower and broccoli that I had from week before last, and I'm going to use up the rest of this in a broccoli cauliflower salad that will go with supper tonight. I've added craisins, bacon, and red onion. I need to do cheese and make the sauce. The dressing is just a mixture of mayo, sugar, and white vinegar. And I just eyed it the last couple times that I made it. I really should write down a recipe that is specific quantities, but I just put a little bit of mayo in, put some sugar in, like I eyed it, and then I just put like a little couple drops of vinegar, like I'm going to say maybe a tablespoon, and I stirred it up and thought yes, no, and then added what I thought. These little cutlets are thawed now. I am preheating my pan. I've got some olive oil in there, and we are going to pan fry these, and then of course eat them with the other things that we have. I made that broccoli salad. We have still the leftover mashed potatoes. We've got deviled eggs left over. It's going to be a great supper. This is looking very good. I tried to put in just a little bit of vegetable oil, and I spilled the container, so there's more in there than what I intended. Quite a bit more. I might have flipped these too soon. Pan frying is something that I have the least experience with. I don't pan fry very many things except for ground beef. So, yeah, we'll see. Pork cutlets, mashed potatoes, broccoli cauliflower salad, and deviled eggs. This looks extra delicious. I don't know why we didn't have deviled eggs last night with the cabbage rolls. We should have. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. So you can see we had a really, really busy, crazy busy week. I know I talked about it was a family wedding and we were making the food. Yeah, that happened. So the menu was actually barbecue chicken legs, pulled pork, baked beans, and mac and cheese. These are favorites of the bride and the groom. So those were the requests for the meal. I handled all of the barbecued chicken legs, and I say the handsome one barbecued for 6 hours. 15 club packs of chicken. My sister made pulled pork, 3 crock pots full of pulled pork. She got so tired of pulling the pork that my brother-in-law had to step in and start pulling pork. Pulling pork can be tiring when it's that much pork. My mother-in-law made a delicious mac and cheese, and I don't mean like a little serving. I mean those big, huge trays, those tin, like looks like a turkey roaster, only they're bigger than that because they're square. One of those. And then the groom's mother made baked beans. Another grandmother made more pulled pork. And another grandmother made more baked beans. It was a huge, huge quantity of food, and it was delicious. Turned out super awesome. So you can see that just everybody pulling together works really, really well. And now my fridge is back to my fridge. No more wedding food being stored anywhere. And that's a relief too, because that was a lot of food. I hope you all have a phenomenal Labor Day weekend. Happy Labor Day.